So I want to give a little overview of these pens. So this one here is rechargeable, and uh, so you can pull the lead out. The lead's quite long. There's built into the handle is a little sharpener, so you could put pull the lead out and sharpen it like that, and then screw it back in. So that's what that's for. Uh, Let me put that away later. I might also have this sharpener. These are little, art sharpeners, and they work really well. There's a replacement blade on there, so if you unscrew that blade, you can put in the replacement blade, and that's good for even this kind, and also these other kind of pencils. So these here are incredible. They they're a big stick, and then you don't really need to sharpen them, or you can sharpen them with some really fine sandpaper, or a knife even. But sometimes you don't even need to sharpen them to draw with them. But they respond to water, and so two ways I use it is I dip it in water and then I draw, and you get some really cool looks. The other way is that you draw your picture and then you use a brush and you wet it and you kind of mix it up. And so then you get something that looks kind of like a ink wash without having to deal with ink. And it is like a graphite. It's a water soluble graphite. And they're incredible. And I gave you two, and they're they're amazing. These are inside this box. I put that clip on there, but inside this box are a couple of different kind of leads for this guy here, and they're a little bit. It's kind of like a little mix box here. There's a traditional like graphite, harder, softer, and then there's charcoal, and they all have different looks, and they all respond to different papers a bit differently. And what else do we have here? And so these are also going to go in the little care package. Or I got a marker set. I don't have the box anymore, but I got all these different color markers. And then I have a few. I got one ink pen, the kind that you find in the bottom of your drawer. And then I have a few of these pencils, and these darker blue ones here. They're actually a blue lead, so they draw blue, and they're kind of hard. They're made for light drawing in blue before you do like a drawing on top of it. And in the old photography days, this color blue would not be picked up by the camera when they copy it. So an illustrator would draw lightly first with this pencil color blue, and then go over it and draw with like an ink or with a graphite, like a really dark pen. And then they put it under a camera, and the kind of film that they use wouldn't pick up the blue. And so that's how a lot of illustrations were done for books and magazines and newspapers and things like that. So anyway, this is a little tour of this collection. And like I said, this one here is a really special kind of pen. I love these. They're big, but they can be divided down, and there's different kinds of leads that can be got for them. There's like a little variety pack. These guys here draw with watercolor. There's like a traditional artist sharpener, which is good for these kind, and it can also be used for these kind. Like the old school hand cranked pencil sharpener is probably better for this than using that. It'll drive you crazy using that, but this is really good for those. Anyway, that's it's a simple little set of drawing tools, and by all means, wear them out and use them out. And some of these markers, some of them might be have gone dry. I haven't tested them all. I did use some recently, so I know they most of them do work. Even when they get really dry, you can still get some pretty cool effects at it, even if you like to dig into the paper. And so I like one time I was stuck in a taxi in Beijing, and I was drawing, and the lead broke on my pencil, and I was really frustrated. And I had this big, dull, blunt end, and the traffic was bad, so I wanted to do something. So I wanted to draw. So I started drawing with this, broken pencil, and I had to push really hard because the wood was coming up to the end, and I ended up getting this cool look that I never got before, and it was completely by accident. So kind of experimenting with these tools is a good way to learn how to use them.